Hey guys, Blessing here. Welcome to my life. How are you all doing? Good day to every one of you. We are going to wait as usual a few seconds for people to troop in. Hope every one of you is doing well. Let me see while I use this opportunity to also share myself out. So I'm live right now on both Facebook and YouTube. If you're here, say hi. Welcome to everybody. Welcome. We're just starting. So you're early, you're on time. Have a few things to talk about, to analyze. Remember, I don't know if we have new people here. This page or this channel is not for any or for either of Korra or Justin, in the sense that it's not in support of either Korra or Justin. We are not biased here. We are just being very straightforward with our analysis. We are not you understand, we are not taking sides here. We are not for anyone. We are not against either of them. So welcome to everybody, but everybody's welcome. Team Korra is welcome, Team Justin is welcome, but keep it decent, keep it respectful in the comments. No insult. Hi Johnson, welcome. I see you. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to everybody. If you're here, say hi. Let me quickly share myself out. Okay, so last time I was live, well, today we're going to talk about the A word, and the A word is abuse. Yeah. Last time I was live, but you guys know how crazy my life can be sometimes. So I ran out of battery power. My phone just died in the midst of a live stream, so I couldn't properly end that live video, the last one I did. So I still had a few more clips from that one that I didn't finish then, that I might just play now for us to just talk about them so that we don't miss any part of the puzzle going forward. Can you guys even hear me? Youre, welcome. I see you. Welcome. If you can hear me, please say yes. Please say yes. I think you guys can hear me, but I'm not sure. I'm not talking too loud right now. It's early in the morning. Yeah, I'm on leave. So I have some time this period. Okay, you guys can hear me. Thank you for letting me know. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for letting me know. Go ahead and share the video. So I think without much ado, let's just play a few clips and talk about them. And I would also really appreciate hearing your opinion, hearing from you guys. What do you think about the things that you are about to hear? Let me see. Okay, I'm just gonna start. So these few clips that I'm going to show now are from last video or last time, but we're going to move ahead. We're going to forge ahead, and I'm going to play more recent ones. Okay, thank you, Hanifa, for letting me know. We're going to play more recent ones, but I just want us to, continue the flow without breaking or missing out anything. That's why I really want to play those ones that I couldn't play last live stream. At this point, it's just to protect myself. And let me tell you, you guys are my number one security. Because here, you're my security. When anything happens, that's why I'm coming here to talk. Because any big if you bust, right? So when she said this, when separation gets to a point where you have to be afraid of your life, it's something that should be taken seriously. I don't know why Korra would drop this line. She probably has her reason, her good reason to have said what she said, but she is afraid of her life. She's saying, I'm always live so that you guys can be a witness to everything happening, because anything can happen at any time, any given time. Shit can go down right here. She's saying it without mixing words. like, I am scared for my life. That is disturbing. That just also tells us that Korra has a lot to say that she hasn't said. Because this is not something you just say out of the blues. What has she seen? What has she experienced for her to make a statement like this? And I'm looking at her and thinking, okay, now it's looking like she wants to say, she wants to start to talk. Because God forbid, if anything happens to Korra, her story vanishes. We'd never get to hear from her. Of course, her sister might be there to really tell us, but how many people are going to believe her sister? They are still going to tell her sister, well, you were not there inside that marriage. So who is the best person to share their story? Korra and Justin. Justin has spoken, he has said a few things, but Korra hasn't said much. So I think she's beginning to realize that, look, I'm not going to let my story just, I really have to talk, and people are here to watch, and I am going to really share my story if anything ever happens. And it is, like I said, disturbing for a woman to start to talk about being afraid for her life. Is Justin a man like that that could harm the mother of his kid? Or is she just blowing things out of proportion? Let me know what you think while we play the rest. As I did, like this, I care for my life, the life. I need to get people post right now. So we can clear everything now. I'm coming here to say everything as it is. Because let me tell you, you're a layer of security for me and my kids right now. What do you guys think about what she just said? Like, she's not only afraid of her own life, but the lives of her children. I don't really know. It sounds serious. Serious in the sense that even if you're afraid that a man wants to or is potentially capable of hurting you, how about him potentially hurting his children? And you have allowed that man to see his kids, according to what they said, that she agreed, or according to what she said, that she has agreed for him to see the kids. So why would you still be exposing your children to a man who could potentially hurt them? But then you come back and say you're afraid for their lives. Why expose your children? Why would you expose your children? And that is why I'm feeling like, is she just maybe blowing this thing out of proportion? This particular one she just said, yeah, because there is no way I'm going to release my kids, or I'm going to sign an agreement that, okay, he can start to see his kids from tomorrow. Going by the date or the day she did this video, he was supposed to come for the kids the next day. You are ready to release your kids to that man, but you are also sitting there saying you are afraid for your life and the lives of your kids. So it's really, it's not balanced what I'm hearing and what she's doing. Did she also express this fear to the person mediating, or to the lawyer? Did she express this fear? Why didn't she express this fear to say, okay, I cannot let him see the kids because of this and this and this? But she didn't. She signed that he can come see them. But on the other hand, you're telling your fans that you're afraid. So it doesn't add up. It doesn't match. What is reality is not adding up with what we are hearing on social media, and I find that unfortunate. Well, I would have been if I was a nobody. If I was just a black girl, just a black. I don't know where I would have been when my kids would have been. I'd probably be one of the blessed people, right? Yes, fact. My fans saved me. My fans saved my life. He has a job as a doctor. He should stick to his career. Stop trying to be an when she said this, I actually laughed, and I'm like, no, it's not. No, like I feel like, nah, don't say that, because there are so many professionals out there now doing social media. So I don't know. It doesn't sound nice to say that. I mean, it's his business what he does. We have lawyers using social media, and anybody can do their content in the way they want. If he wants to do his content as an influencer, by all means, I mean, he wants to introduce something fun into his content. He doesn't have to do things that are only aligned to doctor, or medical, So she's saying you're not an influencer, stick to your profession. I mean, like, we have professionals on social media. Social media is not only created, or Facebook is not only created, or influencing in general is not only for people who don't have a profession, or people who just don't have anything in their head, or people who don't have a degree, or people who don't have an occupation, or people who are only creative and don't have that academic side of them. And I'm sure you can also tell from your sister, she's also a professional, and she also can do influencing if you wanted to, So I just found that a little corny for her to say that stick to your profession. Like, no, sis, you're also a degree holder, but you're influencing, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to say that, because a lot of people also, I see comments like that. People will be like, oh, you call yourself a doctor and you are here on social media. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. We should really stop that. This is jet age. This is social media age, irrespective of who you're. Even the president of the United States is on social media. He might not be influencing, but so yeah. Let me play another one. Okay. So when she did all of this, Justin, of course, responded. Let's listen to his response.
I'm going to respond to allegations because they're ridiculous.
When I listened to this, said, I'm not going to respond to the allegations because they are ridiculous. I'm like, okay, wait, let me read comments before I respond to his response. Exactly. Okay, someone says this woman, she was abused by the husband. I knew it from the first time this matter came out. I knew it, the Korra, she was abused because I was once a victim. Some of these people take advantage. Well, we shouldn't conclude. I am always very careful with concluding things. Korra has not categorically said that she was abused. Yes, she mentioned the word. Her sister mentioned the word, and we're going to listen to what her sister said, but she has not really told what kind of abuse. Verbal abuse, we have heard him abuse her verbally. That one, we can't deny. Physical abuse, we don't know yet. So let's be careful with concluding. Yes, I totally agree with this. Both immature, both 100%. And I said it in one of my very first videos that even the way Justin is talking, I was surprised that the man is 33. He was behaving like a 27-year-old. When the period he was saying a lot of things and writing stuff on Facebook, on Instagram, I was like, what kind of a man are you? You should be protecting your family, covering them. Even if you don't love the woman anymore, you don't want to be with her, remember, you guys had something. You were complete as a family, and you have two kids who are going to grow up to discover everything that happened 10, 15 years ago between their parents. How do you think this could really damage those kids? I hope it doesn't. I hope they are strong enough. I hope they are raised in such a strong manner that they can really withstand psychological trauma, because this could really, really have an impact on their lives 10 years down the line, in 15 years' time, if they have to find out this mess that happened between their parents. So I'm going to respond to Justin's response. So this response Justin just gave came after Korra showed proof that he had actually stolen the money. When she showed everything how it went down, he removed $5,000 at first, transferred it right into his own personal account. So he removed it from the joint account, put it in his own personal account that belongs to him alone. And then the money went back into the joint account, the 5,000. For the money to have even gone back, you will see where that money went back into. It went from your account into the joint account. You should have seen where that minus 5,000 went to. So you can't tell me it was a mistake. You didn't know the account it was coming from. You can't tell me that. Yeah. Now, after then, you took 4,900. I'm going to grab some. So after that, you still went back to that same account that you claim you thought was a savings account. And you know, when you have a joint account, I have a joint account, so I can tell. Oh, I have to pick a call. I'm getting a phone call.
for 2 days.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. You see how chaotic my life is. I just told you guys, like, so I'm back. So I got a phone call and it was long. It was a long one. It was a long one. But I'm back. So someone says here, both of them said they were abused. So I don't get it. Yes, it's very possible for two people to be abused in an abusive relationship. Abuse doesn't necessarily have to come from only one angle. They both can be abusive, but we have to figure out what kind of abuse is involved. Okay, someone says abuse is abuse. Abuse is abuse, yes, but we have to know before everyone will say, oh, Justin was physically abusive. Let's know if it was only verbal abuse, because I think physical abuse is worse than verbal abuse. Although some women say that verbal abuse for them even pains more, it sticks in their mind more than physical abuse. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a thing of personal. I don't know how you see things, how you view things, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So it could also be financial abuse. From this thing that just happened now, there might be some element of financial abuse in their relationship. Okay. Someone says no voice. Yes, I was receiving a phone call. Yes. So, but I'm back now, and we can watch, or rather listen to the rest of that clip. So he was saying that he wasn't going to respond.
I'm not going to respond to allegations because they're ridiculous.
First and foremost, those are no longer allegations. The moment Korra pulled out those receipts, the proof, how the transfer went, they ceased being allegations, Oga. And you guys know, or some of you might know, that I'm always very careful with labeling people based on what one person said. When Korra first came out to say that this man stole, I was still adamant in saying you guys should not call him a thief based on what Korra said. If there is proof as to, okay, he really did it and he is feeling like, so what? Yeah, I did it, so what? Then we know it wasn't a mistake. Then we know it was theft. If you steal or if you take something that doesn't belong to you, it is theft. We can call it anything else. Now, the lady came back, I think the third live video she did, and she showed proof of how the money went back and forth into your account from the joint account, number one. Number two, you sent a message saying she also needs to pay you back. So you knew that the money was not coming from your savings account, but from the joint account. The fact that she messaged you and then you stopped responding to her emails after you told her to pay back 10,000 in gold. So it was no longer a mistake. Even if it was a mistake, you could have rectified it, but you chose not to. So I would also call it stealing at the end of the day. And then you now coming back to say these are allegations. These being allegations the moment she showed proof. When she just said it, you know, out of just saying it, like, okay, he stole from me, I mistakenly transferred 5,000, I would have said, yeah, maybe they are allegations, but this at this point in time, they are no longer allegations, bro. And you're saying you're not going to respond, but you responded when you showed your $27,000 you made last month. You responded then. All of a sudden, she showed proof you don't want to respond anymore. Probably because you have nothing to respond. How do you know, I asked, yes, was it yesterday or the day before, when I did that video, my title was, how is Justin feeling right now? And in the live stream that I did, I said, how is Justin going to respond today? Bottom line is, I don't think he has a response to it. You're saying you don't want to respond. I think you should say, I cannot respond. I do not have any response to save my face from this. You understand? If you've not been responding, I would say, okay, you're just sticking to not responding. But you can't come today and say, I'm not going to respond. Tomorrow, when you feel like, oh my God, I have something to defend myself, you come out and respond. Then when you're locked in a bottle, oh, I am not going to respond. You're not consistent. You're just doing things just to maybe for people to continue to like you. When you have the opportunity to get them to like you, you're going to respond. But when you see that I'm in a tight corner, I'm not going to respond. Who is deceiving who, bro? You understand? Let's listen to the rest. Okay.
Apartment. Yeah, it's the same apartment.
Okay. So let's listen to. Today we're talking about the A word. You can see the A word there. I want to listen to Nancy, because Nancy also, Korra has really given us the idea that there is abuse. She has talked about her children having bruises. And I still, like I said with the other one, she said, I'm afraid of my life. I still find it questionable that you'd be saying things like this, putting ideas in people's mind, because people are going to just think, oh my God, she said when he brought them back, they had bruises. He must have done something to them. But still, now she has refused to let him see the kids now, because he was supposed to see the kids the next day after all of this. He stole my money. And then now he didn't see them the next day. It didn't happen. So they both, I don't know, it didn't happen. So now she's not letting him. That's just the aftermath of all of that. Okay, I'm going to play this other one before we continue.
See, you keep asking about child support. Child support's based on custody. Custody is yet to be determined. There are many things at play, and I am not the breadwinner of this family right now. So.
Okay, he said, I am not the breadwinner of the family right now, because when I did my live stream the other day, you guys were like, why is he not taking care of his kids? And all of that. Must Korra ask him before he does? And now he just said, I am not the breadwinner of the family. I cannot say much about that because I don't know what Korra earns. He has shown what he earned last month, and he is insinuating that he has actually said that she is a millionaire. So you as a father, if you're not earning as much as your wife, and everyone is saying you must support financially just because you are the daddy, it would, for me, if truly Korra is a millionaire and if truly Korra is the breadwinner financially of the family, then if you guys are saying Justin must support financially, it would just be using a bucket to throw water into the ocean. That's what it's going to be like. Because if you're a millionaire, you're earning, I don't know, let's just say if you're a millionaire, for example, I'm not saying she is, because we haven't seen any proof to guide that or to back that. And someone doesn't have up to 100,000, for example, but you guys are just saying, just because you are the father, you must give money. And out of the little you have, you still have to give just because you are the father. So he has really given the answer, like, he is not the breadwinner of the family right now. And you know what it means when someone is the breadwinner of a family. So, and also he rightfully said that it's based on what the court says about custody and about, okay, who has to pay child support. And I really don't know how it works in the US, but it might be that it's the person who has more income or more money that pays child support. I don't know how it works in the US, like I said. If you guys know, go ahead and drop it in the comments. If it's the person who has custody, irrespective of if the person is the one with a higher income that also still gets money from the one with the lower income. How does that work in the US? I'm also going to do some research on it and maybe do a separate video about child support in the USA. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's listen to Nancy, Korra's sister, and we're going to talk about a few things she said before we go to the A word that she also mentioned.
I was the only one making $10,000 in China. Your sister wasn't making $10,000. In fact, I'm like,
Why can't you tell them how much this girl has paid for your student loans? You came online to come and show people your student loans. And your racist followers that they say, oh, open a GoFundMe, we will sort your student loans out for you. Doing the exact same thing you're complaining of my sister. Oh my God. Doing the exact same thing that you're complaining of. This guy has broken numerous phones.
This guy has broken numerous phones. Clear throat. Who thinks Justin is capable of breaking phones? This is an allegation. I haven't seen proof. So I cannot really say, oh my God, Justin, how dare you? Oh my God, you've been such a terrible pretender, breaking phones, going about doing this. I can't really do that right now. I wish I could. But who thinks Justin could potentially break phones? I have seen him being verbally abusive, using terrible words on the mother of his kids and saying he doesn't care when someone said, but your baby's breastfeeding. And he was like, I don't care. Who does that? Who says that? Anyway, he has been accused now of breaking phones. That is physical aggression. That is aggression. You can be like that in the house. You're not an animal. If it is true, we don't know yet. This is just Korra's sister talking. We don't know if it is true. And I know it's not written on people's face what they can do and what they cannot do, but it is quite shocking to just be hearing that this man allegedly was breaking phones, smashing phones on the wall or on the floor.
Everything I'm saying now, there's evidence for it. My sister's phones have been smashed several times for attempting to be online.
So like I said, all these still remain allegations until they bring out proof. So it's quite ironical that the same online that Justin allegedly didn't want Korra to go is what he's doing now. He restricted her, according to Korra. He said, you told me to quit social media, I quit at a point in time. But the social media is what he's now doing. If it is true, if it eventually, because everyday things, new things come out, and as the story unfolds, evidence might actually fall out of these things. And they might also not. But if the evidence fall out and we really see that truly Justin once restricted Korra from going online or from using social media as much as she does now, and to now see the same Justin using social media as much as he does now, we can only say one thing for sure. It is the money that is driving him into social media. If it comes out, but let's not run faster than our shadow, because like I said, these are all still accusations until we see evidence. Yeah.
Attempting to create content, attempting to make money, has smashed it. I cannot talk about the abuse because that's for the courts.
I cannot talk about the abuse. The abuse. Specific the abuse. We don't still know. She said, oh my God, let's listen.
But then this guy has the guts to say, make money. Has smashed it. I cannot talk about the abuse because that's for the courts.
That's for the court. So Korra probably is planning to just go to court and expose everything. I think that is when she's really going to open her mouth and say everything that her eyes saw in that marriage. So this madam here talking about the abuse. There is more to this story than meets the eye. We don't know the abuse. But oh my God, I need to get something to drink. I always have all this. So we might be shocked when they go to court.
But then this guy has not sent me a letter telling me to cease and desist after all he has done to my family. Oh God, I swear, like I am angry now because
So basically, you guys probably know already that Justin hired a lawyer, a Nigerian lawyer, and they sent Nancy a letter that she should cease and desist from saying anything disparaging and anything damaging and anything this and that. And I'm looking at Justin like, bro, you cannot be this controlling now. I'm not even talking about you being controlling to your wife. I don't know about that, although there are also accusations of that. I can't say too much about that, but this looks like you just want to be controlling. You want to censor what people say and who says what. That is wrong. And why I am saying that it is wrong is because, Justin, when you felt like talking, when you felt like posting, you did it freely. Nobody sent you any letter. You did it without even thinking of the consequences. Consequences and effect it would have on the mother of your children and also on your children. Which child wants to grow up to read about the mother that, oh my God, my mother was sleeping around? You put that story out there. And now you told your side of the story. I'm not going to sit here and contest it. That is your side of the story. Fine. Now, another person wants to share their side of the story. You're coming out with a lawyer. Like, is it like you have too much money to throw and dash lawyers and pay legal fees? Put that money somewhere and save it up for your children to go to school with. I have to go. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. So I'm like, why do you have to be like this, bro? Is it like she doesn't have the right as the sister of Korra to talk about what happened in her sister's ex-marriage? I don't get it. Is it like Korra doesn't have the right? I believe Korra has the right. And it's also crazy that when Korra was breastfeeding, when they were still living in the same house, she was in bed breastfeeding her child in the night. Justin went live on Instagram and was saying, repeat it. You guys remember that? Yeah? He did that to Korra. Then when Justin went to the house, when Korra's friends recorded him secretly, Justin started to threaten that he was going to sue them because according to him, it's illegal to put someone on video or whatsoever. And I'm like, oh, it's not illegal for you to put your wife, the mother of your kid, on live video, Instagram live the way you did in that manner. It's not illegal for you to do that, but it's illegal for them to show the way you were being verbally abusive. So for me, it just looks like he feels like he can dish it out, but he cannot take it. It's allowed for him to do and say what he wants to say, but it's not okay for any other person to do it to him. This same Justin tried to trickishly take the kids away from. Actually, he took them away and didn't bring them back till 4 days later. Yeah? And that wasn't the agreement they had before he took the kids. He didn't tell her that the baby was going to be away for 4 days, knowing that she was breastfeeding. Yeah? And then when she finally got the kids back, she put a restraining order on him. He started to cry. I just want to see my kids. But you were going to take the kids away from her too. I don't get it. You're doing things that you cannot take. That's not, it doesn't show good character that you don't put people into consideration. When you do things to people, ask yourself, would I be able to take this if they did it back to me? Always ask yourself, always put yourself, don't be selfish. Don't only think about yourself. And this is not only to Justin, but there are human beings in the world like this. They are so self-centered. It has to be about their own happiness. They have to be comfortable. But when they are doing it to other people, they don't flinch an eye or a wink, or how do they say that? That is unfortunate, because everything that other people have done or they are doing to Justin that he's complaining about or he's suing for or threatening to sue for or crying about, he has done it to them. He has done it. Let me take comments before we listen to the rest of the video. Hello, Candy, welcome. Someone says, so she allowed her sister to remain in her abusive marriage. That's a good question that Nancy should answer. Why? Well, look, I'm going to put it this way. I don't think I would also, it depends on the kind of abuse. Okay, was he hitting her? Was he beating her up? If he was, then I would say Nancy is terrible to allow her sister to stay where a man is beating you. Smashing phones, I think it would be a big step for Nancy to say, you have to leave that man. He's always breaking your phones. You have to leave him. You understand? He was smashing phones. Is that enough for you to advise your sister to leave a marriage for? So we have to really know if for me, physical abuse is the ultimate. When you beat up a woman or when a woman beats up a man, for me, that's the ultimate, So we really have to know what kind of, if that was the case. I'm reading a long comment here. If someone says he is capable, talking about my question, answering my question of does it look like someone who is capable of smashing phones? And someone says he's capable, he seems to display Mr. Nice Guy on social media, yet he can be a monster behind the scenes. And Korra actually used the word monster in her video. She said, I'm not dealing with a human being, I'm dealing with a monster. Someone says they both love money. Talking about money, let me show you a comment that someone put up, and I really want to focus on the last part. The person wrote, Korra is greedy. She don't play when it comes to money. She hold her money and let fans take care of her. She went crazy and was ready to tell all for that money. If he smacked June, she would be quiet. You take her money, she go crazy. And when I read this, I stopped for a bit, and I could relate a bit to this message, this comment, because now she's talking about, or this person is talking about, if he smacks June, she would keep quiet. She would let him still have her. She would let him still have partial custody. She would let him still see her, despite the fact that he allegedly or potentially is, smacking her, and all of that. And she wouldn't say anything about that. But the moment he touches her money, she's coming out to talk, to spill the beans. So is it like money is more important than your child? And the reason I'm not going to answer that question is because we don't know yet if he truly put the bruises on the child. If the answer is he truly did, then we are going to say, Korra, you cannot be like this. You can put more importance on money than your children. But we don't know yet if it is true that he was, beating up the kids. We don't know, and we shouldn't conclude in that direction. But it's something to really keep in mind, something to ponder about, that she's really passionate about talking now than ever before. Give me another second. Okay, I'm back. Should I read more comments before? If someone says they will not post evidence on social media because matter is in court, which I understand, but after the court case, I wouldn't mind seeing evidence. You understand? After they go to court, or when they go to court, they can also update their fans about what happened in court and show us evidence of what happened in court. I mean, they are always live. You know, they live on, or let me say, they are social media people. So if they want their fans to have an update or to know what is happening and what the decision is and how they got there, and if things start to leak, if blogs start to say this and that, um, okay, sorry. I'm really terrible today. I'm sorry about that. So if the blogs, for example, start to carry news that are false, I think they really have that duty to correct things. A lot has been said falsely. For example, they said this lady slept with Don Jazzy. We never saw any proof to that. And a lot of people labeled her adulterous. And I told you guys to be careful when you were doing that. This is somebody's daughter. This is somebody's mom. She's a mom of 2 kids. You cannot just label somebody based on what one person said. Just the same way I said, you cannot label Justin a thief until she came out with proof. If you want to call him a thief, by all means, I'm not going to stop you because, yeah, if like I said, if you take something that doesn't belong to you, you were a thief. But no evidence that she slept with Don Jazzy or all the other people. They also brought out a video that she was dancing with this guy in the club, and they also said she was cheating with this Lebanese guy, and so many things like that. We should be careful. So as long as there is no proof, and if you also want to clear your name, sometimes you really have to talk. You cannot just say, oh, I want to keep quiet. But if you choose to keep quiet, keep quiet. It's to your own detriment. You're not helping yourself keeping quiet. You don't have to do drama. You just have to clear your name if your name is important to you. And it's also good for your kid. This is to Korra now. Otherwise, all this false news will just be out there about you. Are you just happy when you know that you can just clear the air? You don't have to do drama around it. If you can just clear the air, like, but at the end of the day, that means you'd have to come out every day to clear the air, because there was a time that Justin was just talking and talking and talking, and she kept quiet, and he started to slow down. He started to, but if she had always come out to talk or to try to defend herself, maybe by now, things would have even been more crazy than they were. But now she has started to talk, and things have started, the dust is getting up again. And I also find it terrible or crazy or funny that she was saying, when she threatened him that she was going to come out, she said, I am going to show everything. I'm going to post all the pictures. So that means she probably has something against Justin. She has something she's hanging on to that Justin knows. And Justin doesn't want that thing to get out there. That is what it looks like. I'm not saying that is the case, but at least we all have a brain in our head. We can think. But for you to just do, because you told him, if I don't see that money there by the time I wake up, you'll be shocked. I'm going to post the pictures. So I just feel like there is something Justin doesn't want the world to know about him, which I think eventually people have to know. Like, people, you can't be hiding stuff forever. Let people know you for who you are. For me, that is just social media. That is how it should be on social media. You can't be one person indoors and another person on social media. You cannot be doing that. And it also goes to Korra. If Korra isn't as poor as she is, I don't think it would be ethically right for her to be portraying herself as someone who is poor and who needs help, and her fans are all there and all of that. I think you should just keep it real. And if people still want to help you based on your realness, based on who you are, by all means, let them do so. But at least they know They are not being cajoled into helping you based on you portraying something that you are not. If you are not, we don't know her income, we don't know her financial position or status, we don't know. So we can't say too much, but let's just keep it real. You know, that's just what this is all about. Okay. Someone has explained. In the US, the courts declare what child support is. However, when a case is pending to determine the amount of child support, the party with the custodial responsibilities should receive contribution for the case. So the person who has custody should receive contribution. But I do understand that. But do they consider the income of the person who has custody? I'm really going to look this up myself to really learn about it. Do they consider, oh, you have so much money, but that other person doesn't really have much, and you with so much money, you have custody? Will they still ask that other person who doesn't have much to pay you who has so much money just because you have custody? That's really the point that I want to get here. And you guys know Justin really wanted to go for custody. He really wanted to have custody of the kids. That's why he took them away to file. You understand? And if he should have custody, that would mean that Korra would possibly be paying child support to him. He would be getting money from her. So we are going to see how all of this plays out. But I'm really going to look it up to really see how it works. Okay. Okay, someone says beating is not the only type of abuse. Mental abuse is real. Yes, that is true. I do agree with you. I talked about financial abuse. I talked about verbal abuse, physical abuse. For me personally, physical abuse is the ultimate. Yeah. And for some people, they prefer physical abuse to verbal abuse. You understand? Mental abuse, yeah. Emotional abuse, we have all of that. But we don't know the kind of abuse they are referring to yet. Someone says, for she to say, I will expose everything if you don't pay that money back, and he did, means he's guilty of everything. Okay. Yes, it is, definitely. Smashing phones is intimidation, which is a form of abuse. It is a form of abuse, yes. It is intimidation. Like, who gives you the right to smash someone's phones? Or maybe if he bought the phones for her, he will be like, I bought them, so I'm going to smash the phones, if I you understand. But that is also still terrible. Even if you bought the phones, doesn't mean, I mean, that person is not your slave. And I'm just saying this generally. I'm not saying it to Justin because I don't know if he really smashed phones. But generally, even if you buy something for someone, that doesn't mean whenever they do anything, you're not putting them on, on, I don't know, like, I'm giving you this, but whenever you mess up, I'm going to come for it. I'm going to take it back. So, like, which possibly he didn't even buy the phones, but he's smashing them. Like, are you her daddy? Yes, you are the husband, and you guys should be on the same page. But yes, smashing phones would be a terrible form of abuse. Yes. Mm. Okay, someone says she only came out about the money because she couldn't hold it anymore. Also, the sister is the one who had told Korra to keep quiet. Yes, that could also be, which I also said when I did my live stream the day before yesterday, that possibly she could also have kept quiet about this one, but she just felt like, you know what, if I still keep quiet about this one, what is the next one going to be? This thing cannot continue forever. And she also said it when she did that video, that you stole from me again. That's what she said. She said again, meaning he allegedly had been stealing from her. So at a point in time, you're just going to, so this is also in response to these comments we are seeing here in front of us, that, yeah, she only ran out for money. But this possibly wasn't the first time that he took money, but she didn't run out all those other times, but she ran out this time because at a point in time, you just have it up to here. So maybe this was just her breaking point. You understand? So yes, I do understand that comment you made. Yes, I do agree with this also. Okay, content creation is a job. Yes, I'm really fast with the comments. Okay, I think we should continue with the video. Otherwise, we'll stay here for too long.
I really agree because I just came here to publicly apologize to my sister because I am the reason why she hasn't come out to talk. I am the reason why she has stayed silent. I have told her, please let's try this thing because I like the idea of my.
Okay.
When that's the only account you've ever used or you've ever had, it's classic. You will make mistakes and transfer money there, but that doesn't mean that you can take it and then accuse her of stealing gold. Okay, so this is me addressing the world, telling you all to please relax. Okay, this will still be set in court, but then you all can see what we're dealing with. And it's just to laugh, really laugh at him because he tried to really try to threaten me. He really tried to threaten me, like, I have the evidence of that marriage abuse. He really tried to threaten.
She says she has evidence of that marriage abuse. So this is my title where I say Nancy Umeh also mentions the A word. She said abuse. So we are now seeing that the reason these two people are going their separate ways, because it was the big question, like, oh my God, they looked so in love with each other. Oh my God, why? Korra, go back to your husband. Oh my God, I still remember the first time he came out to say, I'm leaving her, I'm getting a divorce, I'm tired of cheating, lack of accountability. And when he said all of that, everyone ran out to say, Korra, what are you doing? You have a good man. Go back to your husband. Korra, go and apologize to your husband. There are so many women out there who would die to have a man like that. And I was just like, you guys. And now, so many of those people, I see the videos they make now, they've turned around to say, wow, Justin, you're not try at all. So you guys also, it should be a lesson. Don't just be running out and be saying things when you don't have facts, especially from both sides. But anyway, the big question then, when everybody was saying, oh my God, why? Korra, go back to him. Go and apologize to him. Don't let him go. Don't lose this man. Don't lose this good white man that you have. Go back. But why? A lot of people didn't, they just couldn't understand what could have gone wrong between them. They seemed to be so much in love. So now we are beginning to get answers. One reason is money. Yeah, because I also did a video then and I told you guys like the possible reasons. I think I was one of the very few media people that really did that then. I really discussed and dissected and analyzed the possible reasons because they wouldn't talk too much as to why. He talked about cheating and lack of accountability and all the other things. And I mentioned control, if you guys remember, mentioned control as one of the possible reasons. I mentioned money. And now we are beginning to see that money is definitely one of the reasons. And abuse is a new one we are just learning. Abuse allegedly is one of the reasons these two or their love actually is coming to an end.
Yo, you got a lawyer to tell me my the evidence of. He really tried to threaten me, like, I am the evidence of that marriage abuse.
Of that marriage abuse. I am evidence, or I have evidence of that marriage, or I think she said, I am evidence of that marriage abuse. Wow.
He really tried to threaten me, like, yo, you got a lawyer to threaten me in my country from LA? Are you kidding me right now? That's the reason, you guys, that's the reason I'm online. Just to laugh at this guy because I blocked him.
So the thing is, I've been watching Nancy. I haven't watched all her videos, but I've been watching a few videos that she has done on Facebook, you know, really speaking out, speaking more than Korra. Even from the first video they did together, the first live stream where Korra brought her on live, she said a lot. She said a lot, much more than Korra ever said. And after then, she has been doing her own thing, really talking about Justin being a farm boy farm boy who went over to China for greener pastures and all of that. And she was also cracking down on bloggers that are on her sister's case. And I've been watching Nancy and I've been studying Nancy. And at a point in time, I just asked myself, or I asked Nancy, I didn't ask her directly, but I asked myself, asking her like, Nancy, where have you been all this while? So Korra has a sister like this, and women have been on social media tearing Korra down. Where have you been, Nancy? You understand? You can't let that happen to your sister. Yes, you should defend your sister. People are not going to like it that, oh my God, finally, Korra has someone who is going to be here to speak for her. Because a lot of women who have been tearing Korra down, Korra hasn't been responding to them, which is excellent. Do not respond directly to these women. Many of them are so irrelevant that they want to use Korra to gain relevance. Actually, Korra is giving many of them relevance right now. So for Korra to respond, or for Nancy to respond, would be actually letting them achieve their aim of tearing Korra down. Those women have nothing going on for them anymore when it comes to social media. Their social media is just dead. But now Korra is a source of relevance to their social media career. So you answering them is just going to feed into all of that. Yeah. So it's very good that Korra hasn't been answering, but the abuse on Korra has actually been going on from bloggers and wannabes and oversabis and people who think they know everything, and people who think, oh, Justin just has to be the good one. Justin cannot be lying. Oh, Justin is, people who just assume that naturally like that. And nobody has actually been there to defend. Of course, a lot of people have also defended Korra, like people who don't know her, but it's actually it gives a good feeling to see that actually Korra's own sister is there to speak. It's different when a blogger is defending Korra and when the sister is defending Korra. And to now see that the sister is not just someone who is just calm and not wanting to talk, let me protect my brand. No, she's a fierce, no nonsense lady who doesn't care what you think of her. She's not here to please you or please your ass. She's just going to give it to you. She's vocal. It's so very refreshing to see that. And that's just one thing I've kind of like told myself, like watching her, I've just been like, where has this woman been? Where has she been? Korra has someone like this, and all of this has been happening to her online. I am glad Nancy Umeh is on Facebook. But Nancy Umeh should not give attention to attention seekers. There are people you should respond to. There are issues you should respond to. At least you will listen to some people. You will see their level of intelligence before you want to engage them in a dialogue. There are people who have chosen to believe what they want to believe. You cannot change their mind. So no need. You cannot also bring yourself low to certain level. You don't do it. Do what you have to do. Defend your sister when you need to. Beat ass. Whip ass or whoop ass when you need to, but don't directly answer who doesn't deserve your time, if that makes sense. Okay, let's listen to other clips before we continue with this.
1,000 in China. My sister never earned 10,000. My sister. I started earning. I started paying your stop. I started earning and paying your bills. Why did you not tell the world that?
Someone says, of course, the income is considered. Okay. So it's even possible if the income is considered, it's possible that they might say, okay, I don't know. I'm really going to read this. I'm going to do some research to have access to her money, of course. Okay. It was an honest mistake. I'm reading comments here in case you get to watch this video on another day. It was an honest mistake. She don't have nothing on him. She would have come out way beforehand then. This lady got 500 million subscribers. 5 million subscribers, you mean? So how is she poor? If Justin got $500,000 subscribers and he got $27,000. Yeah, we talked about that last time. And I think in one of my previous videos, I also said, something like, is it like Facebook is restricting Korra from earning? I asked that question. Like I said it before, although that really what she earns is not our business, but now it is a point, a relevant point. Like if nothing about finances was the case, it shouldn't be anyone's business what anyone earns. But now there is something that has to do with finances. Finances is the reason, one of the reasons their marriage ended, yeah. And her presence on social media, her image looks like it might not be matching with reality. So there is a reason why people are talking about, oh, she's been fake, she's pretending about, not having money and or having money and all of that. So, oh, someone says physical abuse is not the ultimate. Is it not a thing of personal? Is it not a thing of personal decision or personal choice or personal how you feel? It's just like some women who will tell you, a cheating husband, for me, a cheater is the ultimate. I don't think it's something we should even be debating. Like, oh, I don't agree. Oh, I agree. I think it's just a thing of this is my opinion, and you might think verbal abuse is the ultimate. Another woman will say, no, I don't mind him verbally abusing me as long as he doesn't cheat on me. Cheating for me is the ultimate. Another one would say, smacking the kids is the ultimate. So I don't think it's something we should. So you saying physical abuse is not the ultimate. Maybe that is your own opinion, but it shouldn't be like blessing is a lie. Blessing, I don't agree. No, it shouldn't. Everybody is entitled to, what they, think. Okay, I'm going to play the rest.
Paying your loans and paying your bills.
Okay.
I started earning. I started paying your stuff. I started earning and paying your bills. Why did you not tell the world? I started paying your loans. Tell them how much you pay out of the loans. I paid my students in the pandemic. I paid. This is the first time he's clearing out the funds from their joint account.
Whoa. Expose. She said this is not the first time he's clearing out the funds in their joint account. And you guys know that Korra said she didn't have her own personal account for 3 years. She only had the joint account. And she was also, of course, using PayPal. Yeah. So possibly she was earning and all the money she was making was going into her PayPal account, but maybe she would transfer money into the joint account, and he would clear it out, allegedly. According to what Nancy is saying, this is not the first time, according to her. And according to Nancy also, Korra allegedly was paying off Justin's student loan. So if this is true, you guys should be, you should be very attentive to what I'm saying. This is not to judge Justin, but just based on what we've heard so far. If it is true that Korra did a lot to help him pay off his student loan, then I just want to talk to all those fish-headed women who have ever opened their mouth to say that Korra was using Justin. If you can comfortably say that Korra was using Justin, please also go live and do a video and say Justin was using Korra. Many of these women say Korra used Justin to get her green card. Also, if you want to be fair, if you don't want people to say you are taking sides with Justin, also go back live and say, okay, yes, I said Korra used him to get her green card, but I'm also here to say Justin used her to pay off his loan. You guys are ridiculous. Do you understand? When you start talking about using, what it means, when you say someone used something, what it just means in essence is that their marriage was never real. What it means in essence is that they went into the marriage with ulterior motives or with not good intentions, or they didn't go into it for love. I don't think they didn't go into it for love. Like I said the first day, I think they were in love with each other. I think they genuinely loved each other. That's why I cannot. It's only an idiot that would use the word use, that Korra used him for to get her green card. It is one of the benefits that came with their marriage. She took it. It's her right. She's married to him. Just like, okay, they have kids together. Did she also use him to get kids? Or did he also use her to get two wonderful kids? You guys are terrible to conclude that a woman used the husband. They were legally married for green card. But now that you've heard, because it's the same way you heard, now that you've heard that she was allegedly paying off his student loan, will you now come out to say that he used her? You guys, you should start, all of you. Wait, let me even talk to wannabe analysts. All of a sudden, everyone, let's go and analyze. It's no longer let's go and blog. All of you wannabe analysts, you guys should just sit down, make an account, learn work. Yeah? Just come and learn work from the analyst. Yeah? Analysis, not everyone is cut out for it. Not everyone has the intelligence to analyze. And I know the term is now broadly used. Let's analyze. Let's analyze. Thank God for blessing Njoh, who kind of like gave that word a meaning in our community, in our little Nigerian community, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And all of a sudden, everyone wants to say they are analyzing. You guys are not intelligent. Otherwise, you'd know how to use the word use before you'd say Korra used him. Yeah? Until we start to see proof. And I love to see evidence. Yeah? What if it now comes out that Korra was truly paying off his loans? Like, Justin would just have to cover his face in shame if it turns out to be true. Because at least you would tell yourself that, okay, this woman actually also helped my life. 200 and something $1,000 in debt is not chicken change. That someone paid an exorbitant part of it is something. For you to now come out and be labeling that person a whore, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's pathetic anyways. But let's listen to the rest.
I am responsible for the silence, and the reason why everybody thinks it's her fault was her fault.
Okay. Okay. What I want us to listen to now, you guys remember, so last time I talked about, or we listened to Korra saying that the man told her to leave the house they both lived in. And I told you guys that I watched a video in which Justin said, I could have left the house for her, but she wanted to move out. But I didn't have that video to show you guys, or the audio, and now I have it. I want us to listen to both statements from both parties. But I want to read this long comment before we listen to that. Someone says she's just going to give it to them, water. Yes, she can do that. And it's really good to really put these people in check, to really make them know that you can't come up here to spit nonsense about my sister. It's good to do that, but let her do it with sense. Let her do it with maturity. Let her do it and remember who she is. She shouldn't lose herself in the mess. She shouldn't bring herself down to certain levels. There are some people that are just not worth your energy. They are going to drain you. And you know what the trick is here? Those people, they know how best to operate at the lowest level. That is where they can win you. So the moment they succeed in dragging you to that level, or let me say, the moment you allow them, because if you don't allow them, they are not able to drag you. So the moment you give them the power to drag you to that low level, that moment, just know that you are finished. So do not go to that level, because that is where they operate best, the low level. You're better, you're more educated, you're more eloquent, you are just more. Defend your sister. It's your right to do so. Nobody can say, wait, it can consign you. No. But people can tell bloggers, wait, it consign you for Korra matter. But anyone who tells you, wait, it consign you for your sister matter, that person, just take that person to a clinic, to a doctor, because it's not a question, yeah? So just do it with wisdom. That's what I would just tell Nancy. Because there are a lot of mad people on social media, and everybody just wants to claim, na me sabi talk pass, na me talk pass, na me sabi pass. Don't give everybody attention. That is just what I'm gonna say. Um. Okay, someone says blessing money and lack of accountability is the main issue. Korra is selfish even to herself. Okay, if you say so, I'm not going to debate it because that is your opinion. But what I'm going to say is, hold on, give me a second. Yeah, I'm back. So what I'm going to say is, you said Korra is selfish even to herself. A selfish woman wouldn't help you pay off your student loans. If it's true, we don't know. So the thing is, we all have opinions right now, but we should know that we don't have all the facts. That's why we shouldn't take what is happening between these two people too personal. We shouldn't, because we don't have all the facts. It's when you really have all the facts of what really happened that you can really express yourself. That I'm not bold to say a lot of things because I don't have all the facts. But a lot of people say too much. They are too sentimental, too emotional, attacking Justin, attacking Korra when you don't have all the facts. So that's why I always tell people, just take it easy with your hate on either Justin or Korra. I see a lot of hate comments on Justin's page, and I feel sorry for him that is happening to him. And why I'm saying that about him and not about Korra is because I've also seen a lot of hate comments on Korra's page when she's live. But most of those comments, hate comments on Korra's page, there are people who just hate Korra for Korra. If you guys understand, they just hate Korra for, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. I'm so jealous, but I can't tell her I'm jealous, so I'm just going to pretend and say, oh, look at how you are dressed. Her dressing the way she dresses doesn't remove food from your own table. She's not forcing you to watch her. So that's why I'm not really going to talk to those people, because they just have their own. They are women who have their own issues, their own body issues. They just can't understand how a mother of two can just have such a heavenly body. So they will just go there and hate on her. It's just for their own personal low self-esteem. But in the case of Justin, the comments that I see are coming from women who are just fully in support of Korra. They are there to just hate him because of Korra. And that's why I'm really saying to them that I don't think it's fair what you guys are doing to him in that regard. You guys are being too emotional about everything. I understand you guys are fans, but you guys should take it easy. At the end of the day, remember he's also still the father of those little girls that you guys love so much. You guys should also take it easy. If anything happens to him also, they will miss their father, and it's going to affect them, those little girls. So if you care about those girls, please at least be a little more, decent. It's not, it doesn't look good on you guys that you guys are doing what you're doing. You don't have to go there and bash him and say, oh my God, Korra is doing better than you. Oh my God, your lives, because they always mention Korra whenever they go there. You understand? So, but most of the women on Korra's lives, they are not always mentioning Justin. They are just hating on Korra for their own personal. But when they go to Justin, they're always, oh, Korra's lives are more interesting than yours. You're so boring. You're trying to be like Korra and all of that. You don't have to watch him if his lives are boring for you. They are not boring for other people. There are other people who actually find his live streams helpful. So respect yourselves. All of you commenters over, well, I don't want to say over Sabi, but Nami love Korra pass. Love her on her page. You are her fan. Go watch her videos and show her love there. She needs you there more than Justin needs you. You don't have to go to Justin's page to be doing what you're doing. It doesn't look good on you guys. Show some respect. When he brings people on his live streams, you guys insult the people. It's not nice. Put his children into consideration when you do the things that you do. So, Madam Stella, let's wait for facts before we are going to crucify anybody. You understand? Let me read more comments. Yeah. Someone says, I think they both used each other. Yeah, if people want to say that Korra used him, then they should also say that he used her. I personally don't think they used each other. But maybe along the line, because like he has a following now because of Korra. So are we going to say he used her to get a fan base? And he also always says that Korra only had 40,000 followers when they met, and now she has more than 5 million. Because if we have to count the ones on Instagram. So people are also going to say, yeah, she also used him for him to help her build. So we can go back and forth with used. But at the end of the day, they were married. So everything that you do for your partner in marriage, I don't see it as using. She used me, he used me. You guys were married. It's only when that person goes into the marriage with the intention of, oh, I don't love this person, but I'm just going to get married to them because of what I want to get from them. Then we can say they used. But as long as they got married for love, I don't think it's a good word to say, oh, she's using him or she only used him to get her green card. I don't think it. No, I don't think. One says fake doctor only on Facebook. I don't know about that. He has a clinic, right? He says he has a clinic, so I don't think he's only on Facebook. I think he treats patients in his clinic, I think. If someone says he used that money, she accidentally transferred to the joint account to buy a new vehicle and shop for baby things. How could he have done that in 12 hours? I don't think he did, because he returned the money. So yeah, I don't know. He returned the money back. So I don't know. There are a lot of, I wanted to touch the mic and I touched the camera. Those are my cables and my phones. There are a lot of mad people on internet analyzing, like, you know, the word analyze, like, you guys give me credit. Give BLESSINGNJOH the credit for the word like, everybody's now, let's go and analyze, let's analyze. Like, and they can't even spell analyze. They don't even know what it means to analyze. Tell them to define analysis. What does it mean to analyze? They can't tell you, but everybody is saying they want to analyze, and I'm sorry. Okay, I think we should quickly watch the video in which Korra said that he allegedly told her to leave the house, and he also did a video and said she wanted to leave. Let's listen. Where is that video? Okay. Out. I didn't walk out. He walked out on me. And for all of you who are supporting that man, may you fall hopelessly in love with the man who will walk out on you 4 days postpartum, who will tarnish your reputation online, who will steal from you. May you fall hopelessly in love with somebody that you gave 2 kids, and may they do that to you. Keep soft and send you homeless and tell you, move out. This one shocked me. When Korra moved out of the house, I personally, to be honest, I personally thought she wanted to move out of there. Maybe because she couldn't afford it, or because she just didn't want to be there because it was his house and she just wanted her own stuff. It never crossed my mind that Justin could have told her to leave. And I'm still not going to conclude on that because this is what she said. And now it's her word against his. Yeah. So let's listen to his own account of how things went down. Did we watch everything? And send you homeless and tell you, move out. Then you go and you move. You're looking for how to move with 2 kids in your car. In a country you did not grow up in a country you know nothing about. May you fall in love with a man like that and let somebody else be telling you you deserve it. Okay, so like I said, we don't know what is true. But what I want to say is, I'm just going to wait till we figure out who is telling the truth and who is lying about this moving out or no moving out. But if it is true that Justin told Korra to move out with Jesus is Lord, to move out with their kids, if it is true, if it happens to be true, then in my personal opinion, if God forbid something like this happens to me and a man tells me to move out of his house and I have 2 kids, that man, just kiss those kids goodbye, because you will never set your eyes on them. Because at the end of the day, you didn't tell that woman to move out. You told those children to move out. You sent your children out of the house. That is what it means, because you know she's the one taking care of them. She's the one with them. So that is just what, but I'm not going to run faster. I'm not going to, this is not to attack Justin because we don't know the facts yet, but this is an accusation, but I'm just telling you how I would handle it as a woman on my own. If a man should tell me to leave the house with 2 kids, you don't deserve the kid. You can't pretend that you love the kid. Where do you want me to go to with 2 kids? What if I didn't have money to rent another house? You tell me to leave. But let's listen to his own side, because we don't still know who is saying the truth. But let's listen to what he said about that.
Don't pinch my kids. I would never hurt my kids.
Okay, that is about the abuse.
Apartment. Yeah, this is the same apartment. This is the one that we moved into a couple months ago. I offered to let her take it, and she didn't want it. She wanted to move out, so this is now my apartment.
I would have let her take it. She didn't want it. She wanted to move out. Do you guys hear the contradiction in what Korra said against what he said? Again, like I said the day before yesterday, someone is lying here. Either Korra is lying or Justin is lying. Korra said categorically, he told me to move. I would have been homeless. He told me to move out with 2 kids. And here is Justin saying, I would have let her have the house, but she didn't want it. She wanted to move out. One of them is lying. One day we will find out who is lying. And that person, oh Jesus, I already have a title for that video I'm going to make. Because if it is Korra who is lying, that would be terrible for you to lie and say that he told me to move out, whereas you wanted to move out. It would be terrible for you to want to paint a man to be what he's not, to want to paint him as a monster, if it is Korra lying. And I already talked about if it is Justin lying. So I hope my students, my analyst students are learning. In fact, I call you people analyzers. You people are not the wannabe analysts. I call them analyzers. Yeah. I hope you guys are learning. This is how you analyze. You take both sides and you never crucify either party until you see proof. When you see proof, oh boy, don't let nothing hold you back. Spit it out, you know. That is course 101 of being a good analyst. But if you don't get intelligent, you don't get brain, don't just go into analysis. Just stick to blogging and other things. Yeah. Okay, so about abuse, let's listen. Oh, wait, I don't know if I played everything. Yeah, I think I played it. So let's see what he or how he responded to the abuse allegations. You guys remember Korra said when he brought back the kids, they had bruises on them. Let's listen to what he said.
Don't pinch my kids. I would never hurt my kids. In fact, I have a witness that was with me the last time I was with my kids. Oh, yes. Oh, gosh.
Okay. I don't pinch my kids. I would never hurt my kids. In fact, I have a witness who was with me the last time my kids were here. In other words, he's saying that, you know, all those stories about, you know, the kids having bruises or him spanking them, and BLESSINGNJOH doesn't really have a problem with spanking. That's just, I'm not going to sit here and pretend. You know, it depends on how you do it. You don't physically abuse a child, but you can, for me personally, you don't have to agree with me. I don't 100% have such a huge problem with, you know, a little tap on the butt or on the finger, you know. But when you start to do it to inflict injury on them, on the children, then it becomes abuse. It is no longer discipline, or it is no longer just spanking. It becomes you abusing your children, especially when you start to have bruises or injury on them whatsoever. But he has now debunked that by saying that he doesn't pinch them. Oga, do you spank them? Anyway, I was just joking. So we don't know. It's always one person against the other until we see proof. Yeah. Before we know who is lying and who is telling the truth. And that is when we actually get to see them for who they are, not just for who they present themselves to be. I can also see it here and behave like, oh, I'm the best mom in the world. Oh, I'm the sweetest woman. But until you guys really see me for who I am, when people really show this is blessing, that is when you guys can really judge. You can't really judge a book by its cover. You can't really judge people by what they show you of themselves. They show you what they want to show you. They show you what they want you to see of them. They show you how they want you to see them. You understand? Okay, I'm going to read a few comments before we call it a day. Okay, someone says, whether we like it or not, interracial couples sell on social media. Yes, they do. 100% they do. They do better than regular same race couples. Yes, that one is been proven in research, in studies that have been done online. Yes. Okay, so the person also says, so he deserves a piece of the international cake. He contributed to the success of the brand. Shameful that it had to end this way. Okay. Someone says illiterate bloggers choose sites. The thing is, as a blogger, that's even worse. You don't take sites as a blogger. You just blog. That is what it means to blog. A lot of people say, I'm a blogger, but they don't even know what it means, what blogging means. I've heard a wannabe blogger say, and now a wannabe analyzer say, there was a time that person would say, I'm a blogger. I can blog anything bloggable. But this person doesn't know what blogging entails. When you blog, you just blog what happened. You don't say what you think. You don't give your opinion. You just say, Korra said the husband is a thief. That is what Korra said. You don't also come out and say, oh, Justin, you are a thief. No, you don't do that. That's not what you do as a blogger. So you are not a blogger, or you don't know what it is to be a blogger. You people, before you come out and call yourself something on social media, go and learn about that thing and learn how it works and abide by the guidelines and the rules of that thing. Now, when you're an analyst or a critic, I am both a critic and an analyst, and I know very well what those two mean. When you're an analyst, you can analyze issues, you can talk about issues, you can deliberate on matters, you can also bring out things the way they have happened, but you are careful on passing judgment. You're not taking sides, but when you pass your judgment, it could fall on somebody's side that would make people think you're taking sides with that person. But your judgment is based on facts. You cannot, and you're not allowed as an analyst to just go by, oh, Korra said he stole, so that means he's a thief. You can't do that if you're an analyst. You cannot do that. That is just breaking the law of analysis. Okay? So that is the mistake a lot of people make. Illiterate bloggers choose sites. You don't do it. Just blog it. Just say it. This is what happened. Move away from that. That's what Linda does. Linda doesn't tell you what she thinks. She just tells you, this is what happened. This is what Mercy Aigbe posted. This is what the first wife posted. She walks away. Instablog Ninja, they don't tell you, it's so bad though. How can Justin call the wife adulterous? Instablog doesn't do that. They just said, this is what Justin posted. He said the wife is cheating. They move out of there. That is what a blogger does. Yeah. When you want to start having opinions as an analyst, on the other hand, because I'm teaching you guys, I hope my students are here, my analyst students, wannabes. When you want to take sides, or it wants to look like you are taking sides, make sure your taking sides is based on hard proof, hard facts. So you're saying it based on what you're seeing, what you have learned, what has happened, and you're not saying it based on who is involved. Let me give you an example of taking sides. There are people who are in love with their pastors. No matter what happens, it's always their pastor who they will choose, who they will support. The pastor, they said he kidnapped the child, they will support the pastor. Everybody else is lying. The pastor arrested somebody, they will come out and support the pastor. It doesn't matter. So those ones, you can just see they are just taking sides with that pastor. And there are bloggers like that. No matter what you say today, or Oversabi bloggers, or they will say, I support Justin. I support Justin, no matter what. You never learn work finish. Or no matter what you say, I support Korra. I support Korra, and you call yourself a blogger. Come on now. Do I have to do a separate video and teach about blogging and also teach about being an analyst? And that analyst is not a business it's not oversaturated. When I came out with it, a lot of people didn't even know what it was or what it is to be analyzing. A lot of people were against BLESSINGNJOH. And today, everybody wants to analyze. And I remember them, stop talking about my matter. Stop calling my name. Stop talking about my issue, because they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what analysis was. And I have been able to educate a lot of them about it now, that they now love the idea that they are now doing it. They are now, yeah, let's go and analyze. That's what you hear. And it's actually good that at least I have been able to give them that knowledge. But please, when you do it or you want to do it, don't do it the wrong way. Don't spoil it the way a lot of you have spoiled blogging. You've spoiled market for Linda Ikeji. That is a good blogger. Instablog is a good blogger. They know what it means. They have learned the coins of it. They know how it works. They know what you should do. They know the do's and don'ts of blogging. And now all of you illiterate bloggers, you now come, or ignorant, let me just say ignorant, because when you say someone is illiterate, that means the person doesn't know how to read or write, right? Let's just say ignorant bloggers, that they just do things. Everybody they blog, oh, me too, I go blog. They just do things because it rain. Everybody say they be blogger, me too, I be blogger. They don't learn how something works before they go into it, you know? So the same way they've spoiled blogging for the good, well-trained, knowledgeable bloggers, that is the same way they want to spoil analyzing, but they are not going to be able to spoil analyzing because not everybody is an analyst, a born analyst. It's a talent. You have to be good. You have to be balanced and emotionally mature and intelligent. There are factors and there are traits and characteristics you should have to be an analyst. Everybody can blog, but not everybody can analyze. Your brain has to be working like on both sides of the clock. You can't be too emotional. You can't be too in love. You can be a fan of someone. You can like people, but you can be a fan, you know, because then you might be biased. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do a separate videos and just talk about these two things. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Someone says he stole her money and returned it when she put him on blast. Nothing to analyze. Like, it's just, I know it's straightforward, but we should talk about it. Yeah, I know it's straightforward and we can see it. She showed proof how it went down, and it is what it is. He made a mistake. I mean, he made a mistake by taking what doesn't belong to him, by stealing. And he made a mistake telling her that she should also pay back in gold instead of him to have just rectified whatever he did, because he didn't know that that woman would come out and open her mouth. And then she threatened him, and then he ran because she said she was going to put the videos and pictures out. He ran and went and returned the money. Anyways, I think we've had a good time today, and I hope you guys, oh my God, so this image has been here all day. Let me put the correct one. Yes, so yeah, now we have number one. You know, we are saving these things, we are documenting this thing. That's another good thing with being an analyst, a good one who knows what they are doing. You document points and facts. The first one we've been able to establish is money, finances, cause or is part of the reason why they fell apart. The second one, we are slowly establishing, there is no proof yet, but that's why there's a question mark. Another tip. I hope my students are still sitting here tightly. A question mark. Abuse. It's not abuse. Abuse. So another one we are slowly establishing. Korra has talked about abuse. Justin has talked about abuse. Nancy Umeh has talked about abuse. It looks like there might have been abuse that we cannot authoritatively confirm yet because we haven't seen proof. Until then, let's keep it in mind as a possible reason, one of the possible reasons why these two people are going their separate ways. So I think we have really had a good time today. I want to thank you all for your contributions. I want to thank you for your comments. I am still going to continue to update you guys as this story unfolds. There is still so much more we haven't learned, at least not from Korra, and also not from Justin. I don't think Justin has said everything. He has said a lot, but there are still some things he hasn't said. He hasn't gone into details as to, what he saw, what his eyes saw. Korra hasn't really said too much, but I think she has a lot to say. And it's scary when she says, I have evidence, I have proof, or when her sister says that I am the evidence. You understand? So we are still watching closely. And yeah, like I said, I'll continue to update you guys when something happened. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Someone says there is no genuine reason for this divorce. Well, I don't think someone is just going to wake up one morning and walk out on their family if they didn't have a reason or if there is no genuine reason. Well, I think I am understanding. Maybe in your opinion, you don't think there is anything tangible or there is any tangible reason for them to just walk out. You feel like maybe the reasons they're coming forward with are not strong enough. But they are the ones wearing the shoes. They know how it was hurting or painful to them. So yeah, they walked. Well, he walked out. He walked out, and I've already told you guys what I think about him walking out when he did. He couldn't even wait 3 months. He couldn't even wait 6 months. He walked out 4 days later. Gee. And then you now come out and say, I held the baby the first hour of her life. She was on my chest the first hour of her life. And you only spent 4 days with her. And then you walked out on her. I don't want to do a video like I'm just on him, but I would say this same thing for anybody, even if you were my brother. I'll tell you this same thing. You can brag that that child spent the first hour of her life with you. Why didn't you let her spend the first 10 years of her life also with you? You walked out 4 days later on her. He actually walked out on his kids, but he might have a good reason for doing that, which we don't know yet. He hasn't told us the good reason for doing that. Okay? Yes. Nancy, she's an intelligent woman. And she has, like I said before, she has every right to speak up for her sister when her sister feels like, okay, my brand might come into jeopardy. I'm not going to talk because of who I am. Yes, Nancy should speak if she chooses to. If she wants to, she should. Okay, once again, let me thank you all. Let me not hold you up too long here. Go ahead if you're here on Facebook and you haven't liked and followed this page, go ahead and do so right now. Turn on your notifications so that whenever I go live, you get notified. If you're watching on YouTube, do subscribe. Also turn on the bell icon so that when I go live or when I upload a new video, you are also aware. I want to thank you for watching. Share this video, by the way. Do not forget to do so. Share so that other people can watch and learn. And yeah, I think I am just going to leave it here and catch you guys on my next one. Bye.